So today we will see about basic thermodynamics. So last class we have discussed about this all the systems, the properties and the thermodynamic processes, right? It's a basic process, and we have also seen what is zeroth law, right? And what are the sign convention for heat and work transfer. Then we have also seen what is path function and point function. So we should know to distinguish between what is path function and what is point function. Now most of the times they ask this type of question. Now when we consider about thermodynamics, around I can say estimate that 5 to 10% of question comes from this thermodynamics. Okay, 5 to 10%. That means 5 marks to 10 marks of question will be coming from this particular topic. Then I have also discussed what is point function, and we have solved one small numericals. Today we will see the work process. Okay, work. Now work, when we talk about, it can be classified into two. Now before going for the work done, you can see it can be classified in two forms. One is a reversible process and second one is the non-reversible process. So to understand that, you should know what is a reversible process. What is reversible process? Now let's draw a graph, or if the variations between pressure and the velocity, and the point 1 and this is point 2. That means we have two state. Then if whatever the thing happens, the process happened, it is going to move from the state 1, that is point 1, to point 2. Point 1 to point 2. So however means it comes, if it follows this path, to move from, or the process from 1 to 2, right? Now in the same way, right, when we work on the process, if you release something, it will again move from state 2 to 1 in the same path. So if it is moving from state 1 to state 2, right, now in the same way it will move from state 2 to state 1, and in the same path it follows, we call as a reversible process. By the name itself you can clearly understand, but the fact is no process is truly reversible. Okay, and we take some approximation of this reversible fact. Okay, just like a very good example I can say, if I talk about a frictionless motion. Now do you think frictionless motion is possible? If we are walking from one point to another point, it's not possible to have a frictionless motion, right? So that is the example of an reversible process. Now what is irreversible process? Okay, irreversible process. So irreversible process means, let me change the color of the ink. Now first, from the state 1 to 2, it is moving in this direction. Okay, it is moving in this direction, state 1 to 2. But as in the process, it cannot move from state 2 to 1 directly. It may vary some other path. Okay, maybe let's consider I dash. Okay, sorry, 1 dash. That means some other state. Okay, when it is making the other component, it will be in the other state. It is not going to follow the same. And this is what a real fluid occurs, a real thing happens. So you can note down some of the possible applications that irreversible flow occurs. This is an irreversible flow. Both cannot move in the same direction, both has to be in the different path. Just an example of a gas turbine engine. So when in a gas turbine engine, the air, it comes to the air, right? Air enters into the combustion chamber, right, mixed with the fuel, and when it leaves, it is a combusted air, right? So do you think that both are of same? No. So can I say the mass flow rate of the air or whatever the molecules of air what we get is same as this? Never. So this is an irreversible process. Same heat transfer. So if any particular system is there, it is transmitting heat, it is adding heat and releasing heat. Just take an example of a combustion chamber even. So heat transfer, again, it is an irreversible process. Okay, it cannot transform back to its again to the same. Then a fluid flowing to the pipe. A pipe is there, it is moving, right, in that direction. So if we add a valve, can it make it a reverse fact? No, it has to move in the one path only. If there is a valve, it cannot come back to this path because it will obstruct any kind of systems in aircraft. Similarly, likewise you can find lot many examples will be there. Then another is there, very good example like plastic deformation or metal deformation. Now if there is any metal and you are hammering in that particular portion, right, you are hammering some particular portion, so it will form some dent. That means it will create some kind of hole, it will be non-uniform surface. Now can you revert back to this previous thing? No, it's not possible to bring back to the original state, not possible. So there are lot many examples in the real application field. Okay, so same thing, we whatever the application we do, we can see how much amount of work has been performed by each and every system. Now it can also state as non-flow work. Okay, non-flow work is a reversible flow or the reversible process, or it is also called as a control mass. Okay, control mass, that is mass is not moving outside, it is coming again and again and moving all around. Second is flow work, which is moving. If it has been left, then it is left. So it is called as an irreversible process. Okay, irreversible process. And it is also known as a control volume. Now let's see how this equation are formed. Okay, how this equation are formed. So basically what is work done? If I want to say work done, we know something which needs some kind of force into some displacement, right? Some force into displacement. Now if any point you can't understand, please let me know. Now how we can express, now here it is in terms of force and displacement, right? But here when we see, it is in terms of pressure and volume. We represent volume. So always we either you draw a graph between pressure volume or temperature versus entropy, okay, or enthalpy versus entropy thing. Now how do you convert this this force into pressure and this displacement? Now how we can write the force in terms of pressure? Can I write the pressure into area? Force equals to pressure into area. And displacement, we can see some change in path, whatever might be, some change in path. Let's consider dl. Now combinedly, if I combine this area and change in dl, can I say P into dV, pressure into volume, right? So in the non-flow process, what happened? So if the flow want to move from state 1 to 2, right? So we have to write W12 equals to integral of 1 to 2, because from initial to the state to the final state, P dV. So this is comes under non-flow work. Same occurs, right? So if suppose you have some graph, something like this, like this is a volume, this is a pressure, okay, and you got some kind of process from 1 to 2. Now there is one more way to find out what is the work done. If you can find the area of this shaded region, then you can find out the work done. The area under this shaded region, okay, will falls for the work done. Either you find the area of this zone, which will be equal to your work done. Fine. Next is how to find for flow work. Flow work, if you see, it's something different. So what happens in the flow work? There will be some change in pressure, but the volume become constant, because here you see it is of control volume. The volume is fixed, right? So in case of this formula, it will be have change in pressure into the area into the length. So in case of flow work, non-flow work, right, where the mass is constant, so the pressure will also be remain constant. But whereas in the control volume, right, as the volume is constant, the pressure will vary. So in this, the equation forms like V dP. As the pressure changes, right, so there will be a negative sign over here. So you should know the formula when it is a non-flow work and when is a flow work. Now what kind of question can occur or can come from this particular topic? One is like they will give you some equations, okay, they will give you some equation and you have to identify which kind of work process it is, whether it is a non-flow work process or whether it is a flow work process. Second, they will give you the application. You need to identify either by means of formula, either by means of the defined names. Okay. Then they will give you the application and they will ask you from the application you have to solve the numericals from there, and you have to identify from the problem whether it is a flow work process or the non-flow work process. Now in these things we will have lot many different types to do that, okay, lot many process and how it occurs. Now one more thing, how to find out the work done for the flow work, okay, for the flow work or the flow process. Now as I've said here, in the reversible flow, but what occurs in the irreversible flow? Now if there is a graph, let me draw in the same graph over here. You have drawn the process is P versus V, that is pressure versus volume. You have the process 1 to 2. Now for this flow process, to find out the work done, you should consider this area. So once you find this area and the area of this shaded region will be the work done for your irreversible process. So what kind of question can also come? So they might give you a problem like triangle. Okay, they will give you a triangle problem. Okay, something, maybe something like that, triangle problem. They have given 1, 2, 3, and some of the parameters they might not give you. So you should find out the area, understanding whether it is a flow process or the non-flow process. Understanding on that, whether you have to take this shaded region or this shaded region. You need to identify that. Accordingly, by finding out the area of this, you can able to find out the work done by the any kind of complex the complex nature or complex process. Now we will focus on the various non-flow processes. Okay, here we will see all the non-flow processes. So what is mean by non-flow process? Non-flow process means W12, or we can also write like this, W12. Why I am writing this one? As this is a path process. Okay, this is a path process. So in case of path process, we should write like this. Now the question can come likewise also. Okay, so you should know what when to write path process and how to write for the point process. Point process, if it is a point process, so you should write like W1 minus W2, or I can write change in W. But where the work done is a path process. Now for the path process, what is that? From 1 to 2 P dV. So here the volume is changing. Now we will see lot many processes we have seen, and we will check the respective process how the area under those things varies. Now you see, from here you can understand more in detail. What is isobaric process? In isobaric process means there is a other name of isobaric also, isopiastic process. Okay, you should know different names that we represent, because sometimes in the question they may not give you the isobaric, instead they can give you the isopiastic process. So you should know the different names of particular terminology. Now what is meant by isobaric? Where the pressure remains same or constant. Now again here I have drawn the volume versus pressure. Okay, volume versus pressure. Now it is a constant, that is P1. If we want to move from state 1 to 2, okay, that means pressure at the point 1 is going to same as pressure at the point 2. So obviously it has to be straight line, right? Because at the same point, which is equal to P, I can write. The corresponding for the state 1, the volume will be V1. For the corresponding state 2, the volume going to be V2. Then how I can find the area under, as I've said, area under this line is going to be the work done. If you know at what point it is, suppose let's consider this one is around 10 kilopascal. Okay, this is 10 kilopascal, and here we have around 0.1 meter cube, and here we have 0.2 meter cube. Fine. Here we have 0.1 meter cube, and this V2 is 0.2 meter cube, and P is 10 kilopascal. Now can you find the area? And this is how you can find this one into this one. What will be the difference of this two? V1 minus V2 or V2 minus V1, what will be the difference? Going to be 0.1 difference. So 0.1 into, what is the pressure? 10 kilopascal power 3. So you will get your work done. And if I have to see based on this formula, standard formula, W12 equals to integral V1 to V2 P dV, as P is constant. Now change in volume, V2 minus V1. So you can see the formula, you have done the same thing. V2 minus V1 you have taken into P. Can you follow this? Can you follow the thing which I am explaining? Moving to the corresponding value of the P2 and V2. Now here all the variables are differing, both the P1, okay, and V1, P2 and V2, right? You can understand that the area under this shaded region is going to be your area of the work done. So how you can write? You can write P1 V1 ln P1 by P2. So you know how we can transform from this formula to this formula, because as we know, as a constant temperature, P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. Now we can also write P1 by P2. If I write like this, so I can say V2 by V1. Now in place of P1 by P2, I can also write P1 V1 ln V2 by V1, as you can see in this formula. So first of all, I will say you try to remember this one. That is quite easy than remembering this one, because this is not a single formula that you are doing. There are lot many formulas, so there is a quite high chance that you get confused. Next important is the process. Okay, so next process is your polytropic process. Okay,
Can you explain again?
which one? Isothermal process. Okay, what you want me to explain in this? Tell me.
I want this. How can we about this log one and length?
Okay. Now you know this ln. How this ln came? You want to ask? Your question is how this ln came?
Yes, ma'am.
See, there is a derivation. We are not going to the code derivation, because each and every is a derivational thing. So if you want to go derivational thing, then we cannot complete the syllabus. Here, wherever derivation is required, I will explain that, because in between the derivation some questions are asked. But where the derivation is not that important, where you need only the use of formula, I think it's better to go with the formula alone. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Right.
Yeah.
Fine. So that's why I'm not going for that. But how you can remember that, I can definitely say W12. Okay. Keep all the one terms, that is state 1, in the upper zone. Then you know there will be some ln, which is in the function of that ln P1 by P2. Now in this isothermal process, P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. Now here we have P1 by P2. So obviously the volume and the pressure are acts opposite with each other. P1 by P2 equals to V2 by V1. So this V, in place of P1 by P2, we can also write P1 V1 ln V2 by V1. Okay. Next is a polytropic process. In the polytropic process, if you see, that is PV power n is constant. Now this n, actually to look for that, this is actually the general equation. This is actually the general equation. Now sometimes if their n value is 1, we can call as isothermal process. Now that part also I will explain how these things, if the n parameter changes, what are those processes. Now first we will see what is the polytropic process. Now this polytropic process, you can see the formula as usual. So if I want to see for two different state, it is state 1 process and state 2 point. So we can write this P1 V1 power n equals to P2 V2 power n, which is constant. Okay. Now if I take also other end, the constant term, that is some pressure and some volume at the power of n. So we can get some relations, general relation. So we get this formula. You remember this formula. Now I will tell you from this formula how it has been derived. Okay. Now you should remember the simple formula, not the complex. Now if I ask you to remember this formula, then it will be difficult. First try to remember the general and simple formula. First, what we have? Here we have, what is the equation? We have W1 to 2. We have P1 V1 minus P2 V2 by n minus 1. Why? Now there is one more thing. Sometimes you might get confused whether it is 1 minus n or n minus 1. So remember, the n is always should be having higher value, because sometimes n can be 1.4, can be 1.6, can be 1.3. Okay, so n should be the first minus of 1. Now what I said, in this process P1 V1 power n equals to P2 V2 power n. How we can write? There in the formula, complex formula, it has been given in terms of pressure. So let's see how we can combine that. P1 by P2, I can write V2 by V1 power n. Now here what I have done? Here I have taken P1 V1 common, n minus 1. So what I will get here? 1 minus of P2 V2 by P1 by V1. Now here it is in terms of pressure here. I need to change this volume. So I know what is V2 by V1. So V2 by V1 we can write P1 by P2 1 by n. Right? 1 by n. Then I can replace this thing over here. P1 V1 by n minus 1. For your understanding, okay, I am doing this for P2 by P1. Now here we have P1 by P2 1 minus n, 1 by n. Now here we have to make a relation with P2 by P1, then only we can simplify that equation. So P1 V1 by n minus 1, 1 minus of P2 by P1. Okay. Now I have to make this P2 over here by P1. Then what I can write? Minus of 1 by n I can write. Now this is power is 1. So if we have the same variable, here 1 and here we have power minus 1 by n, how we can write? Simple mathematical thing we are going to do. So we are going to add these things. So 1 minus of 1 minus n. So you get n minus 1 by n. Right? So W12 becomes P1 V1 by n minus 1, 1 minus of P2 by P1 power n minus 1 by n, this. Now let's check the formula. See, we get the same thing, that is 1 minus P2 by P1 n minus of n. Now based on this we will have some numericals. Now let me erase this part. Now before that there are like kind of small questions they ask. Now as I've said, the small n, this equation is a general equation. Now why did I say that? Now see in this box, if I substitute n value 0, okay, n value 0, if I put 0, something power 0 becomes 1. So we get P equals to constant, that when we have a constant pressure process, the n value should be 0. Next, if I substitute the n value as 1, n value as 1. So what is meant by n value as 1? That means PV equals to constant, that is nothing but constant temperature process, constant temperature process. Next, if I substitute the n value as 1.4, so you have the clear idea when we use 1.4, it is adiabatic index, or which is also can be called as a reversible adiabatic process. So we also call as a gamma, n is equal to gamma or 1.4, then it is an reversible adiabatic process. Then if the n value is infinity, something power infinity, what will be there? Something power infinity, what it will be? So what kind of process it will be? Yes, obviously. So it has to be a constant volume process. Okay, so accordingly you should also remember the graphs, okay, how for each and every process the graphs are forming. So if it is expansion, means from state 1 to 2, okay, and if it is the compression, okay, it will be moved from compression, means the volume is decreasing, okay, the volume is decreasing. If this is a point 1, the volume is decreasing. If this is point 1 and these are the point 2, okay, for each and every conditions. So you can see from the point 1 to point 2 always that there is some increase in volume. Volume is increasing, where that means it is a expansion process. But if the volume is decreasing, right, and if this is right 1 to 2 state, okay, volume is decreasing, so that means it is a compression process. So again, based on lot many application based question that it may come, okay, it may come in your exam, so you should know. Again I will demonstrate this when we will go for the gas turbine engine and gas turbine cycle. So there we will see lot many applications where we use the adiabatic process, then where we use the constant temperature process, constant pressure, constant volume, and all those things. We will see that, and the same application we will use. Okay. Now let's solve one problem. A system composed of 2 kg of above fluid expands in a frictionless piston and cylinder machine from an initial state of so and so temperature is given to a final temperature of 30 degrees centigrade. If there is no heat transfer, find out the net work for the process. So they have given certain parameters, and for this parameter they have asked you what will be the work done. Okay, first you need to identify what is the process, and then you have to accordingly the 4 important process that we have seen: isothermal process, then isobaric process, isochronic process, then the polytropic process. So you have to understand the question and you have to implement that and find out what is the work done in the process. Then the next is, if all the work in the expansion, okay, the above problem, if the work all whatever has been done is expansion, it is done by a moving piston, right? As they have said, the piston is moving, right? So find out the path of expansion and prove the expansion follows the PV power 1.4. You need to find out the whether it is the adiabatic process or not. Whatever the given statements that they have given, from there you have to prove that that whether it is an adiabatic process or not. Now first you tell me what are the given data that has been provided over here. How do you proceed this? Any idea? So to find out any heat transfer or work transfer, there is a general formula: mass into specific heat into the change in temperature. Another is the most general formula which I have shown: work done equals to P1 V1 minus P2 V2 n minus 1. Now here the value of n is not given. Can you follow, guys? Now how we can use this formula? See, the gate they ask in this way. Okay, the questions, they ask in this way. So the basic formula you have to use with that existing formula. Now first you need to equate these two equations. First find out what is the work done. The mass that has been given, okay, initial pressure P1 is given, initial temperature, then final temperature T2 is given, no heat transfer, then what will be the work done? So you can find out what is the change in temperature. You can find out what is the change in temperature. Now specific heat when you are using here, so which one specific heat will you do it? Which one? Whether you will use the constant pressure process or constant volume process. Change in specific heat for an constant volume process or constant pressure process.
Constant pressure.
Why constant pressure?
Because from an initial it's given, ma'am, from an initial state of 1 MPa.
But they didn't say it is a constant. First of all, did they say it is a constant?
It's given expand, ma'am.
See, very simple. Actually, this is a complex kind of problem. You have to use all the application. Now, for an example, you're using first law of thermodynamics. So what is that? Because they have used the word called no heat transfer. So if I use the change in heat equals to change in the internal energy plus the work done. Now if the heat energy is 0, right, if the heat energy is 0, now what will be change in this equals to the change in internal energy. Now what is internal energy? Now this became the function of internal energy. Now internal energy means CV into del T, am I right? And del H, that is enthalpy, is Cp into del T. So here when you want to find this, so you have to use CV. So if you use this formula here, so mass is 2, CV is I think 0.718 as standard we consider. Then change in temperature, so either you change in Kelvin as you are taking the change alone, so it's going to be final minus initial, so minus of whatever the answer, right? It will be in kilojoule per kg, sorry, kilojoule kg it will be, because you have already used that. Now tell me the answer. Tell me the answer, what you're getting. Two into 0.718 into 30 minus 100, that is minus 70. Are you getting this answer? Yes. So I hope you are using calculator. That means you are getting 1100.52. You are getting minus of. Now see, we need to prove that the n value is 1.4. So how we can do it? Now you have to use this formula. To use this formula, that means now here we have 100.52 kilojoule. This side you have you are using kilojoule into P1 V1 minus P2 V2 by n minus 1. Now what is volume? What is volume? V2 and V1. Do you have anything of V2? You don't know. But can you write an relation, that is PV equals to MRT? You know this relation? PV equals to MRT, because M also you know, R also is constant, and T is given in the question. Now what is R? R is 0.287 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. This is the value of R. As we have taken in kilojoule, let's follow any one of the convention. So I can write this equation as M R, that is constant, that is T1 minus T2. I can write by n minus 1. Now we know this one, then if we substitute this, 2 into 0.287, 100 minus 30 by n minus 1, that is minus of 100 by 0.52. Now what is the unknown here? Is n. Now find out the n value and tell me the answer. Solve this and find out the answer. Solve this. Solve it correctly. I request all of you to answer. And whenever you're solving, write down the values properly. See whether you have typed single zero or double zero, whether you have typed the negative or positive, whatever it is, properly or not. Yes, you're getting 1.39, right? So that means 1.39, which can be always equals to, if I take round off to 1.4, and hence I can state. Now see, though we have used these applications, even in GATE they will ask such kind of question. Now what they will say, this is the process, now to identify the process. Now they will give you whether it is a isothermal, whether it is an isobaric process, whether it is an adiabatic process, then D, whether it is a polytropic. So we can see when the n is n is 1.4. So what I have said, it has to be adiabatic process. So they will give you a small statement and they will ask you to find out what is the process it belongs to. Now in this question I have given the detailed information, just like a proof the statement. But in finals they will not give you such kind of thing. To identify, they will always, you have to make it, you have to be clear with all the formulas and the concepts. Did all of you got 1.39? Okay. Similarly, you can practice for this and let me know the answer, okay, whether you're getting that. So you can note this question for your assignment. Note down this question for your assignment. You solve, and next class when I'm coming, and let me know, are you facing any issues or not. These are the assignment problem, both this one as well as this one. Okay, and next class we will see what is first law of thermodynamics and some many problems, numericals we'll see, and very important topic, steady flow energy equation. Definitely there will be one question from this topic, definitely at 101% there will be one question. Every year they are asking, and yes, of course it will be an application based question they'll be asking. Okay.